Hey, 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 it's Robert's Top 10. Hey, hey, it's Robert's Top 10. He's at it again with another Top 10. It's a lousy Top 10. It's Robert's Top 10. Hi, I'm Robert Ochoa. I'm doing my Top 10, and this is like Top 10 of everything I own. So, right now we're going to do Top 10 martial arts movies. Look, I know there's a lot of martial arts movies out there that are probably better than the ones that I own. There's probably some that I've never seen before. But these are the top 10s of my collection. That's all I'm going to say. Starting off at number 10, we have Rudy Ray Moore and Shaolin Dolomite. Now, for those of you who don't know who Rudy Ray Moore is, he's the guy that makes Dolomite. You know, that goofy movie that was made back in the 70s, blaxploitation. Well, this is even a worse movie than that. It has a lot of strange characters, including Davy Crockett. Yes, that's right. Davy Crockett fights. It's a weird kung fu film. It's probably one of the rarest films of all time. It's pretty funny. They got funny characters. There's Ninja Ho. There's the Mighty Whiteys. Like I said, Davy Crockett. So, if you ever want to see a really goofy kung fu film, you gotta check out Shaolin Dolomite. Next, we have Invincible Armor. Now, because it's part of a collection, this is what you're gonna have to find: the martial arts essentials, and it's the films of Yin Wu Ping. Now, why is Invincible Armor very funny? Because it's about this dude who cannot be hurt at all because he has this invincible armor all over his body. Except when they find his weak point, which happens to be the back of his head. But before they get him in the back of the head, they have to grab his balls really hard. It doesn't make any sense. Once again, it's a bunch of goofy characters all going around beating each other up. Probably one of my favorite films of all time. Next we have Tiger Dragon Gate. Now, this is based off a comic book that I never read. It's actually really cool. I mean, it has Donnie Yen with the emo haircut, but there's a lot of good action, a lot of good fight scenes, especially the scene when they're fighting in the restaurant, and it cuts from one room to the other, top view. It's pretty cool, man. Coming in next at, what number is this? Oh, who cares what number it is? Anyways, next we have Dead or Alive. Yes, this movie is based off the video game Dead or Alive. Now, this didn't even come out in theaters, straight to DVD. It's kind of cheesy, but a bunch of hot chicks fighting against each other. You gotta admit, Jamie Presley, she's pretty fucking hot. I mean, I do her, but that's just me. Pretty cool action. Doesn't follow the story like the one in the video game. You know, there's not a bunch of boob juggling all around, just like the video game has. But it's pretty cool. Like I said, you know, it's in my top 10. So next we have a French film, The Great Challenge. Now, The Great Challenge has a really bad storyline. I mean, the story is terrible. It makes no sense whatsoever. You get lost in it. Maybe because it's a French film, I don't know. But the really cool thing is that it has that parkour, so there's a bunch of dudes running around doing flips off buildings and stuff like that, and a lot of cool fighting scenes. Probably one of the best fighting scenes ever is where they're like on a bunch of scaffolds and they're fighting against each other on baboons, swinging from one pole to the other. So, it's pretty cool. Next we have Tony Jaa and The Protector. Now, this has to be probably one of the coolest martial arts films with Muay Thai boxing in it. There's a lot of action. Story, once again, a little bit off. He's going to Australia to find his pet elephant to save him. So, you know, but it's really cool because there's a lot of cool action. There's a lot of fighting. The main bad guy is a transvestite. Can't get any weirder than that. So, check it out. Then we have Jet Li in Tai Chi Master. Now, Tai Chi Master goes by a different name. I think it's Twin Warriors. I think that's the American version. It's really cool because it's a lot of wires and special effects. It's Jet Li, you know, he's jumping around, kicking ass, doing all this kind of stuff. And he learns the mystical art of Tai Chi. Ooh. So that's pretty cool to watch, too. So, you know, once again, this story is actually, you know, pretty normal. But it gets a little weird at some points. Gets a little goofy. So, you know, check it out if you can. Next we have The Iron Monkey. Now, this movie is badass. A lot of wires. There's a lot of kung fu. A lot of weird moves like the Wonder Palm, the Shadow Kick. you know, and it's about this dude, the Iron Monkey, who's like a Robin Hood of China. He steals from the rich and gives to the poor. Story's pretty simple, you know. He's fighting against corrupt officials, and they're trying all they can to fight against him. They even get evil monks trying to fight him. So it's a really good movie, really good story. A lot of action. Got to check that one out too. Next we have Donnie Yen in IP Man. Now this is a story of a true kung fu like master in China, and this is the guy that taught Bruce Lee how to fight. It's a drama. It's very serious, but the action scenes are one of a kind. He's fighting against the Japanese when the Japanese took over China. So it's really cool because he's standing up not only for himself, but he's standing up for the country that he loves too. So it's definitely one of those movies that, you know, has to be taken serious, but it's a kung fu film, so, you know, it's just really good. Last one we have, this is probably one of the best movies in my collection. This is the number one pick of all time. Fighter in the Wind. Now what makes this movie so badass is that it's about a Korean who joins, I guess, the Japan Air Force. I guess that's it. Anyways, he wants to become a pilot, but because he's Korean, Japan looks down on him, and they actually, they really do, you know, torture him and beat him and stuff like that, and treat him just like dirt. That really sucks, because, you know, all he wants to do is become a great guy. So he goes through all this trouble, and he keeps being knocked down, and he's down on his luck, and then finally his mentor's killed, so he decides to become a badass. One of the best training sequences out in the middle of nowhere. And then he goes back to Japan and then just starts beating every dojo out there. Like, he'll just walk into a dojo and ask for a fight, and he'll fight everybody and just knock out masters, and he knocks out students. He just beats everybody. And he's going through, like, all different type of levels. He's going through, like, karate and all this kind of a black belt and stuff like that. So he ends up whooping ass, and then finally at the end, the guy who's always picked on him, who's always been a jerk with him, he finally gets a taste of him. And it's a really good movie. It's also based on a true story, you know, so definitely this movie right here has to be one of the greatest inspirational kung fu films of all time besides The Karate Kid. So that was my top 10 martial art films. Like I said, this is my collection. No one else's. If you want to say there's better films out there, please do tell me, and I will look them up and I will watch them. I'm a big martial arts fan. Love a lot of action. There'll be more top 10 coming soon. This is my first one. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you very much.